Hmm. Hold on. What's up, everybody? I'm the Crypto Crow, and the Crypto Crow, don't you know? I've been super busy. I still have this thing around my arm. Actually, I'm gonna take this off. I went and did lab work for my testosterone levels today. So they changed my stuff around, and I'm I don't know, trying to get me fixed up, trying to make sure that I'm on the right dosage. Fun to be live. Yes, it is. Sarah Walker, how you doing? Crypto Face. Am I a random guest? So what I did, I have this group into a meeting now. Okay. Um so I basically posted this thing in I don't see anybody yet. So yeah, nobody's there yet. So I posted this link to a Zoom channel in this private invite only influencer chat that I have. And I just told anybody who wants to pop in and join me are more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'm just going to hang out for a bit, kind of talk a little bit about Bitcoin, crypto, what's happening, all that fun stuff, latest news and goings on. So we'll just kind of see what happens. Finally, I am in the first 30. That's funny. You look bigger already. I don't know how I look bigger. I don't know what you mean. I shouldn't be. I can't say I've actively been trying to lose weight, but yeah. It's crow o'clock. I can feel the bulls getting anxious. Yeah, it's real interesting. I have not been I've not been like actively checking out what's been happening. Crow, are you coming to Miami for the Cardano Summit? I am not. I am so busy with stuff that I have going on with the exchange that I have. Man, there's so much stuff that I want to do, guys. You have no idea. Like I'm just now getting to a point where I want to Detroit. I love Detroit too, Sarah. I really so badly do I want to get deeper into technical analysis and Fibonacci, Elliott wave. I really want to. I'm not going to say master because there's no way. Here's the thing about technical analysis that I'm learning. Learning technical analysis and getting really good at it is to me like learning a very difficult language. You can dive in, learn bits and pieces, and retain some of it over periods of time. But the longer you're away from it, the less you retain. It's almost like you have, they say if you're trying to learn a new language, you have to dive in and basically use it every day. You know what I mean? Like you have to talk to people in that language all the time. It's why a lot of people learning different languages go to those countries so that they're forced to speak in those languages, and it helps them get more fluent. And that to me is what technical analysis is all about. I mean, you have to do it a day in and day out. You have to be studying the patterns and understanding the market. And there's so much to it. And admittedly, I have not been doing anything regarding technical analysis lately. We obviously saw some spikes, and then we saw some big volume spikes, which I have no idea. I didn't go back and cross-reference this day with the latest news and all that because, quite frankly, I don't think the news matters. In a bear market, I just don't think news matters nearly as much. It's in cryptocurrency, it's the general sentiment. It's the sentiment of those that are holding, those that are trading, those that are buying. And that sentiment is often controlled by the media and articles, but if news articles aren't backed up by price action on the exchanges, it's all a fizzle. And so there has to be this kind of the price action and then supporting articles and then more price and they kind of have to piggyback off of each other to extend the whatever direction the price is going to go. Interview with a time traveler. I thought about doing that. I thought that'd be pretty fun. Hello from Dubai, accumulating since 2012. Crow, I lost my shirt in crypto. What should I do? Honestly, it depends on what projects you went into and whether or not you sold at a loss. If you didn't sell at a loss, then here's the thing. Somebody had made a comment on one of my previous videos about me basically making the statement that, when Bitcoin starts to go up, all crypto is going to go up. And how that's it's BS, and that I'm irresponsible for saying that. And look, if Bitcoin is going up, there are two things that are happening. Okay, when people go into Bitcoin, two things are happening. One, people are just buying Bitcoin, or two, people are buying Bitcoin as their primary trading pair to go into altcoins. That's why there's such a connection. And typically when you see Bitcoin rising, you also see a lot of alts rising as well. And so, it's all connected. So yes, all altcoins are going to go up when the market turns around and we go from bear to bull. All the coins are going to go up. The question is how will the altcoins rise against Ethereum or against Bitcoin or against their primary trading pair? If Ethereum, typically I see the price action in altcoins move significantly better than that of Bitcoin or Ethereum. But the lower the price of Ethereum is, it seems to be more volatile. So price swings can happen in either direction in a much more powerful way. And that's ultimately going to dictate, so in other words, if I bought Ethereum at $100, bought $100 worth of an altcoin at 10 cents, that altcoin drops down to 8 cents, but Ethereum only dropped, $1, you know what I mean? Then it's like the ratio, you have to calculate the ratios against your primary trading pair is the point. An altcoin can go up, 6%, Ethereum can go up 1.5%, but then you convert it back, your altcoin back into Ethereum and you're at profit, right? Depending on where you bought the Ethereum. Typically, you probably bought your Ethereum with fiat currency. So you're ultimately kind of playing the values of three different things. Your fiat, your primary trading pair, and your altcoin. And so it's that juggling act, that game of what's going to go up. What I think initially is going to happen when the market really does start to turn around, which I do not think that's what this is, looking at the Bitcoin price, when you've got hundreds of technical analysis people who are much smarter than me, basically saying like this is likely one big pump before a final drop, which is the point of when everybody just gives up. Like there are still so many hopefuls out there waiting for this market to turn around. There are so many people out there who they know just enough to be like, well, I think this could be it. Bitcoin has bottomed. I don't necessarily think that is the case. I think that there actually is a chance. Like initially, I thought, well, anything could happen. Like there may not be a drop at all from here, but I suspect there will be. We shot up really crazy high into overbought, and now we're kind of dipping back down. So we're probably going to be stagnant here. I'm going to guess we'll probably just kind of hang out here for a week. I don't know. Anything could happen. That's the thing. I mean, truly anybody. One big whale with enough Bitcoin to move the market can move it in any direction they want. So, and I think that when we're down as low as we are, I find it difficult to believe that any whale who has not fully invested back into their Bitcoin position is going to do so at $3,900. When I'm sure they could easily push this back down. They could push it down to $2,000 pretty quickly, I believe, if they want. So there's really no telling. Thank you, Block Cat. I'm not even sure what that is, but that's cool. Rolex 23's in the house. What's up, man? What do you think about Richard Hart Bitcoin Hex project? Honestly, I don't know anything about that. I have not been looking into it. This is the first I've heard of the Bitcoin Hex. I hear a doorbell. I wonder who is here. This is random. I have no idea who's going to be on this screen. It's Crypto's Chain. What's up, man? Can you hear me okay? I can't hear this guy at all, but he's got his gaming headset on. He's talking. He's not muted, so I don't know. Let me hide myself here. Hide self view. We're gonna see how long it takes him to figure out his audio is not working. Boo! It's not Crypto Face. Still can't hear you, man. You're not muted at all, so I don't know what's happening. Hold on, let me see. Now I muted you. Now you're not muted. So for whatever reason, you do not have your audio turned on, or your microphone, or something. Nope, can't hear you. I can see your lips moving though. Alec Winter. Yo, invite Crypto Face on the stream. He uses Eastern technical analysis and has a great perspective that you two should that's a tongue twister. Should suggest. I'm happy to have Crypto Face. I'm happy to have whoever wants to join me. This ugly image is what other people see when they are on my Zoom channel. But I'm gonna get rid of that because there's nothing there worth seeing. Bought more XRP, hot and Trek. I will tell you guys, I will say there's a really good update for Crow's Nest X. Just signed a deal today that is going to allow Crow's Nest X to operate in all 50 U.S. states and accept fiat. Boom!
Can you hear me now?
Oh wait, I hear a voice.
Oh, you can hear me. Perfect.
I can hear you now.
Great. Finally. Right. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I had to close it and rejoin it again.
Your volume's pretty low, but I can hear you.
Okay, let me see if I can increase that a bit. Okay, it's on max. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe it's because it's a live stream.
No, I just think your audio is a little low, but it's all right. I can hear you. I can hear you a little bit.
Right. I'll talk a little bit louder then. Maybe then it'll be better.
Yeah. So what's up, man? You've been in that influencer channel for quite a while, talking about getting on here. Here you are. Welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
You kind of remind me of my cousin.
I've been following your channel since. I've been following your channel since quite the start of 2018, more or less.
Okay.
When you started doing all those different reviews and stuff, really good, man. I used to listen to you from work. Really good content.
And now you're a YouTuber
really
yourself.
Honest as well. You know, this is what attracted me to watch the videos. Your honesty is really important. I think that's what, because I don't want to badmouth other YouTubers, of course, but you know, you can tell the difference between some and others.
Sure.
Right? So I'm just gonna say your honesty is what really attracted me to watching the videos.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Look, I definitely always try to come from just a straight up place. I don't, you know, I personally despise liars. So like I just hate liars, and so I don't want to be something that I hate. So I just try to keep everything as honest and upfront as possible. And not everybody likes me, man, but you know, I think. My wife always tells me the people with something to hide don't want to be anywhere near you. And that's probably true.
Stories as well. I know when you don't talk about crypto and you just go into the life stories and you talk about your childhood times and all that, it's really interesting, like the whole history behind Crow, you know, like giving it all that. So yeah, that's really good. But yeah, just to talk a little bit about crypto. So what's your opinion on Bitcoin? I mean, I started watching your live stream a little bit. It looks like it's holding. But, I mean, we could potentially see it dip back down to 3,500. I mean, what's your take on that? Or do you reckon it's going to be bullish?
No, I think we're going to see a dip. I think I just don't see. I was just talking about that when you popped in. I just don't see. I don't see this staying. Like, I think we're going to hang out for a little bit. I think all of the people that are manipulating the market to do what it's doing right now, they're going to dump their profit buyback in on a low. I just think this is a play. I don't think
Yeah,
this is natural.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but I'm not a technical analysis genius. I just kind of
yeah,
know what's happening in general in the market. I mean, people are playing. I feel like they're creating their own
yeah,
swings. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. So because I don't think this is natural right now, because there's nothing really fueling it. I just don't think it's going to stay. I think we're going to see a dip. I think it's possible we could see $2,000. But like, it wouldn't shock me if we did, but the only reason I could see us hitting $2,000, and by hitting $2,000 I mean like a candle, maybe a 4-hour wick that we touch it and bounce back up, and that's it. Like, it's all up from there. That's what I think could happen. But I believe that one of the only reasons we may see that happen is because there are so many technical analysis guys calling for it. And when I see a lot of that, I almost see like them creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You're probably talking about CoinBase right now, right?
Honestly, I don't even want. Look, I mean, CoinBase does his thing, and CoinBase they're a group of smart guys.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But I also know that for me, it's difficult to take somebody that is a hardcore Bitcoin maximalist who I know wants to make their living from Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Not take this as an opportunity to drive the price as low as they possibly can before they enter the market and get back in. And when you have traders like him and others, I just, when they're all basically kind of saying the same thing, like, I've never seen CoinBase bring on anybody so far that says, oh, Tone, I think you're wrong. I think, and these are all the reasons why. Maybe it's because that person doesn't exist. I don't know. I used to pay attention to Tone's videos. Like, when I sold a bunch of Bitcoin at around 8,500 because I watched ToneBase. But from there, it's just like, at one point he was afraid to commit to $6,000 Bitcoin. And, once we broke that, then all of a sudden we're going to go to 2. And it's like they have all the, like, this hyper wave, and they have all this stuff. Well, why didn't they call $2,000 6 months ago if this hyper wave and all these other things they're talking about is so accurate? And so from here, I just think that, I believe that CoinBase and some of the other guys, I do believe they are. He's not the only one I'm referring to, but I do believe that they are self-fulfilling prophecies in a sense, because they get so many people that tune in and watch what they're doing, make people believe this is what's going to happen, that everyone sits around and does nothing while they're waiting for it to happen. And those that are available to take action or sell, expecting that dip to buy back in, they do that. And then, all these TA guys are right.
Yeah. No, that's true. And also his courses as well. I mean, the guy has a lot of experience, so he kind of gained that trust in the community. We've got Data Dash as well, who also does technical analysis, but I think CoinBase has a bigger reputation in terms of trust and the fact that he goes around to all these different countries and he presents. So I think that does play a big role as well.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I'm not knocking CoinBase at all. Yeah. I think all those guys are wicked smart, and they will forever know a hell of a lot more about TA than I ever will. But I just, the very nature of technical analysis to me is it's just one of those things that, some of it is educated, some of it is based on market pattern, and some of it is based on expectation followed through by creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's my, a lot of people keep talking about crypto face.
I gotta ask you about the BitTorrent token. What do you think about that? Do you reckon that's manipulation by Binance? Just the fact that they've got, like, they're listed on all these different exchanges all of a sudden. They're constantly going up ever since the ICO. And also the other thing is the trading competition on Binance, which I just launched today. So I don't know, too many things coincide, right, with BitTorrent token. Justin Sun is really trying to get it up there, right? And even the cards as well. Have you seen the cards?
No.
that people can pre-order. Yeah, you can basically top up your Tron on those cards and use them just like a debit or credit card. And
Okay,
you can
kind of
also
like
store,
Turnio's block card.
yeah, and you can also store BitTorrent on there, so you're going to get all these different discounts when you pay with crypto. So it's
Look,
pretty
man,
interesting concept.
I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but I think Justin Sun's a marketing genius. And you know, in a sea of crypto projects holding their face in the sand, you know, it's nice to see companies like Tron and you know what? I mean, Binance, look, as long as it's not illegal, good on them is the way I see it. I mean, if
Yeah.
they're figuring out ways to promote and generate a solid use case, a solid crypto that offers a lot of benefits and utility, more power to them, you know? So I don't have anything against it, but I'm not holding any. I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I have Tron, but I don't have any of
Yeah.
the BitTorrent
It's good for
tokens.
trading. That's the only thing I could say right now. I mean, it's possible that it could end up going higher, but just looking at the supply, it's absolutely huge unless they really go worldwide with this token. And yeah, that's what I wanted to cover. And you're right about that. I mean, marketing plays a really big role. Like, look at Ripple, for example. A lot of people don't like Ripple, but if we look at the marketing they're doing compared to other projects, it just, you know, far outweighs them. And also, you've got Ontology now kind of catching up from behind. I really like Ontology. I don't know if you've been watching my channel. I cover mostly Neo and the Ontology projects and all the dApps that are on them.
I have
So,
both because
yeah.
if either one wins the race, I do too. So it's all good. I you know I
Yeah,
think
and
what's
also the node staking functionality, I think, is really awesome.
yeah I think a lot of these projects that we're gonna see, I think we're gonna see I think we're gonna see obviously an initial rise in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I think we're gonna start seeing a steady incline. But then I think from there we're gonna start seeing the altcoins pump much higher than their primary base pairs, which is gonna
Yeah.
likely be Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think there's gonna be a steady increase across the board. But I think some of these more popular altcoins, once the public feels like it's safe to get back in, you know, a lot of the primary projects that were hot before the market crash are going to be hot again. Excuse me, provided they have something to show for all this time spent in the bear market.
Yeah, that's true.
And I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
Neo and
what I'm
Ontology
seeing
are,
right now, just based on researching all these different projects, is just partnerships. Everyone is trying to get stronger by building partnerships. We're seeing a lot of projects, especially the Neo dApps, which have not sold their Ethereum or Neo during the token sale. After the token sale, and because of that, they got caught in the dump, and obviously they lost a lot of money. So they had to end up letting a lot of developers go. So they're struggling trying to continue the project, right? So they're waiting for all these different people to come with more power, with more money to build partnerships. So I'm curious to see how many of these will actually die out and how many will manage to succeed.
you know why I think that's smart? Because, you know, for years, and this is going to feel completely off topic, but I've always believed wow, this is going to be a whole rabbit hole thing, and I might be talking for a minute, but I'm going to give you kind of my perception of a lot of the partnerships and what's going on. When I look at our world, okay, I look at the globe, I look at all of the different countries, Russia, United States, just everywhere, right? And I think of how divided we are as a human race. And I see how we are able to make advancements on our own merits. But I also think, with my tinfoil hat, that there is such a vast, unexplored realm outside of this earth. And until we are able to unify and work together, share technology, share, and work together, we are never going to see outside our own bubble, right? Like truly see outside our own bubble. And I think that in the crypto space, I see all these partnerships popping off, and I see all these companies working together. And I think ultimately, when crypto finally reaches a point of mass adoption, the ones that are the biggest players at that time are going to be the ones who together laid the foundation for people to be able to utilize cryptocurrency without even realizing it, without even really knowing it. And it's going to take a lot of partnerships and a lot of unity and the sharing of advancements and experience and knowledge and marketing and everything. And then I think that we're going to see that.
No, that's true. It is a game of power from what I'm seeing. It's like who's got the bigger muscle, that's the sort of attitude we're seeing from the big leaders out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're in the US, but look, Trump is a bad example, for example, with that wall that he's trying to build and trying to separate the nations. And to be honest, who's actually going to go through? It's going to be the drug dealers, right? Because they got the money, so they can just pay the border patrol and just get through, right? So if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean the whole business with the wall. Where are you?
Spain.
Spain, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean as far as the wall's concerned, man, I think that the United States has been a country that, they say, bring us your poor, bring us, all that. And and I agree with that. But I think that there's a right way of going about it. And I think the idea, I don't think, a lot of people are trying to act like, this whole thing with the wall is some kind of racial thing. It's not a racial thing. I think it's a financial thing more than anything. And, so many people die trying to cross the border illegally because they so badly want what America provides. Yet, for whatever reason, and this is something that I don't understand, I don't know why they don't just go through the proper channels to make this happen, right?
That's the thing. Like, I actually, sorry to interrupt you. So basically, I work with this Latino guy right here in Spain, and he explained to me that a lot of these people that are trying to go to the United States are actually dying of hunger in their countries. Criminality is really high, so their only option is death in their country or die trying to get into the US. So this is really the reason why, like, a lot of these people are in really, really bad situation, bad poverty, and their only option is the US. Of course, you're going to have situations like people that are just trying to take advantage and go there and then show off, look who I am.
All they really have to do is buy a bunch of Bitcoin.
The majority
right
of them
now
are really, really poor people.
Trump can take the money they're willing to give him for this wall, buy Bitcoin with it right now. And then, I'm sure he's got some people that can help drive that price up enough to be able to liquidate over a period of time and build that wall for a fraction of what it would cost in fiat. This guy, wow, that's douchey. Dude paid $5. What is your nationality? Are you Spanish
Ireland, from Ireland? No, I live in Spain, but I'm from Ireland.
From Ireland?
Yeah.
I don't hear an Irish accent.
Yeah,
and you're not drunk.
I lost it. I can still put it on if I want to, but I just avoid it in my videos to be honest, because otherwise people might not understand me.
That's funny. There are a lot of people talking about Crypto Face. I don't understand. I think they're hoping Crypto Face pops on. I don't even know if he's in the influencer channel.
The Telegram group. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. To my knowledge, nobody's invited him, so I don't really know. I don't even know how to get a hold of him. So, yeah.
Man, but it's really hard to get people, isn't it? I mean, we've seen Robert Beatles couldn't join, BitBoy couldn't join. Like, a lot of people can't join.
Yeah, it's because it's random. It's like everybody wants to schedule stuff, and I've got so much stuff going on right now. It's really difficult for me to be like, okay, on this day at this time, I'm going to be doing this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Because
you're working on the exchange as well, so you need to make sure everything is up to speed. I actually listened to your video where you were saying that you really need to keep an eye on those people that are working on it, because obviously, we're talking about people's money in an exchange, so you need to make sure everything is up to standard. And I like the fact that you're trying to play by the rules across the board, just to make sure it's right the first time, rather than going back in, changing things, tweaking things, running off to Panama or some other country, to avoid getting caught.
it's a tricky thing, and it's not even so much overseeing the development. I'm not a developer, so even if the people were sending me lines of code, I wouldn't know what the hell any of it meant. For me, it's more of a legal compliance regulation thing. It's making sure that we have all those eggs in the right basket. Like I just signed a deal today that's gonna basically, we have a regulated custody provider, which is we're gonna be able to accept fiat currency, and all the fiat deposits are gonna be FDIC insured. Like, nice. Yeah, like it's getting that kind of stuff worked out that I'm busy on. Do what?
The Cardano trading pair.
As of right now, I'm not listing Cardano yet, because to add Cardano is a sizable cost There are a lot of expenses associated with launching an exchange and running an exchange. Hard costs and maintenance costs and security costs.
And the license. Is it the licensing that's really expensive as well, or is it more the security aspect?
I mean, it's everything, brother. It's everything. And you know,
because I know you were saying that in the US it's very difficult to open an exchange, but you've researched that in Europe it's easier. Like Malta, I think you were saying Malta is supposed to be easier. It's just because they're trying to attract
for like
all these different
Estonia residency.
there.
Steve Good is in the
Steve
house.
Good to see the STO guy. The STO guy.
The STO guy. What's up, dude?
We had a video. It's pretty good with Crypto Beast and Steve Good.
Hey Steve, by the way, do you have any hot pics of your wife?
Yeah.
Do you want some more?
I'll show you one right now, but don't tell anybody I did this online because she'll kill me. There you go.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, what's up, dude? How are you?
You shouldn't do that.
I've got the pink background.
It's risky. You never know where that ends up.
I've just launched a new segment called Women in Blockchain. So
I tried doing something like that.
Yeah, I've got like some really cool women lined up for the show, actually. So it's really exciting. We just did our first recording today. We've got a whole bunch lined up. So, so I've got the pink background going right now. I forgot to switch it. How you going, Crypto's Chain? Nice to see you.
I am. Hold on a second. So he is in my thing. I'm gonna try and get Crypto Face in here. I didn't realize. Oh, there. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get him a link so that he can pop in. How is he not in the influencer channel? That's what I want to know. Hold up. Sorry. I'm just now figuring this out. Here we go. So if he's online, I just messaged him on Telegram with the Zoom link. He just saw it. All right.
So you do have him on Telegram, right? You know his username.
Yeah, I have him now. CKJ Crypto News. Crow CKJ always ready. Give your Crow brother a shout out. There you go. There's your shout out. So what's new, man? And Crypto's Chain, just so you know, you're for whatever reason, as soon as you start to talk, you freeze frame for like 5 seconds and then it like catches up. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I saw the same thing happen to me when I was talking to Steve Good and Crypto Beast. They were okay. I was freezing. I think it's the internet connection, to be honest. I'm getting like about 50 to 60 megs on Wi-Fi. So I think I should just start connecting the Ethernet cable directly next time I come to a live stream.
Yeah, definitely. Anything you do live, I had to hardwire
4G or LTE, you'll probably get a better service than you will through your actual internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad here in Spain, unfortunately. Yeah.
So what's popping with you, man? Mr. Steve Good? Like what's good?
Oh, a lot of stuff, man. Just lots of guests on the show coming up. It's been exciting. A lot of stuff going on.
I've been feeling completely guilty that I keep saying, I want to do a daily video. And then I get all charged.
You said that. You haven't been very good at that.
I have not been good at it.
I just want to change topics and talk about like what are they called? Coons.
Maine Coons?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, my cat is beautiful. I
want you to show a picture of your Maine Coon to everybody since I had to show a picture of my wife. It's only fair.
I found the picture. I
want to see yours.
So I found a picture. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can find it again. I found a picture of exactly what my cat's going to look like when he's full grown. Hold on. I'm going to find him while we chat. He's just... So I was under the impression that my cat could get up to 30 pounds. It's not 30 pounds. He can get up to like, I think 18 pounds roughly, which is still freaking huge. I got to find this picture. It tickled my ear. Damn. Oh my gosh. These cats are just the most beautiful cats in the world. I can't find the one picture, so I might just have to show. Damn it. Well, you guys won't be able to see it.
I put you on the spot. Sorry about that. Sorry,
Steve. How are things in the world of STO moving?
I don't know. I'm not
any news.
Not really. No. I mean, it's all. I mean, I shared that article with you, didn't I? About from Medium about what's happening with STOs. It's tough right now because they're not raising any money.
Yeah.
I'm blocking your faces with a picture of a Maine Coon, fully grown.
Oh, that's cool. I'm okay with that.
Just so people can get an idea. It's
got to be an upgrade. It just can't get any worse.
I mean, these cats they get so big, and Like, anybody that comes to the house is going to know that Cardano is my cat, like, because he's going to get so big, I'll be the only one in the house that can pick him up. So anyway, what's this female crypto thing? Like, what is that?
So
I tried to do Glock, but we ended up only doing one video.
So Yuri and I have launched a new segment in the show called Women in Blockchain, and it's just getting women on the show that are doing things, influential things, you know, some of them public speaking, some of them legal podcasts, whatever, just lining up a lot of different women that are to talk about challenges, the things that they're doing, the things they're trying to create, just, you know, the universe they're working in. And we've just done it as kind of a standalone series within the show, just to do something different.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It just seems to me like women in crypto is a bit like women in development in IT, because I work in database development, and I've only worked with one woman who was a database developer in different companies that I've been in. So it's just really, really hard to... It's
a thing in a way that, you know, people are always talking about women in blockchain. So we just thought, as long as it's something that is of interest and women feel that they need to have their voices heard, let's give them an opportunity to let their voices be heard. That was the only reason we thought to do it.
Yeah. No, that's true.
But I see Crypto Face's name popping up on Zoom. He's in here, but I think he's trying to get situated.
He probably has the same problem I had at the beginning.
Can you
do with the audio? Oh, there he is.
I can hear him, but I don't see a face or anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn.
I'll show you that one there, Crow.
I love short hair.
It's not working.
Yeah.
That's McAfee, my dog.
McAfee is a dog.
Crypto Face. It actually asks you to. It asks you to turn on the webcam from the beginning when you join. So you probably need to leave and rejoin, and then you're going to see the pop-up asking you if you want to use your webcam and also the audio.
Crow, if you want any tech analysis, I've got some stuff I could show you guys as well that might be helpful.
Yeah,
we need to get
show us what you got.
in here.
And then when Crypto Face comes back, I'll be curious to see what he has to say about it. Let me see.
Let me pull up can I share my screen from here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me do that. That's cool. It looks horrible, but
wow, that goes full screen.
No, it's really good actually. It's full screen. I don't know how it looks on YouTube for Jason, but
it looks fine.
So here's what I've seen going on, just to give people a little bit more. And actually Yuri and I have a separate thing on Patreon where we go into all the details and really dig into this stuff, and we do a weekly episode just on, you know, the analysis of crypto, of Bitcoin and Ether and other projects and stuff. So here's what I saw. We saw this bottom that it hit over here. I have to move this around so I can see you guys. So we hit this bottom that was over at what, 3,200-ish. And then we saw what was really interesting was a double bottom, which is what I've got circled there. The significance of this is that crypto, like anything that's trading, for it to hit and then
hey, we're about to get mugged.
And see you now.
Oh man, we got like a scammer on the show. Cool.
He's either getting ready to carve somebody up.
I should get my sunglasses. I should get my sunglasses on.
I'll put my reading glasses on so he won't recognize me.
That's for sure. But I do wear a mask just like Spider-Man and every other superhero did. So
you kind of remind me of NYE Shill. I don't know if any of you guys watched his videos. Yeah. He walked into conferences, crypto conferences like that, like fully covered.
Yeah, some guys do that. I probably should have started doing that. I might have more viewers. I don't know. People could just see that I'm a big ogre, but I figure, you know, it is what it is. Welcome, Crypto Face. You've had a whole bunch of people in my chat like, get Crypto Face in here, get Crypto Face in here. So glad you can join us, man. I didn't realize you weren't in the influencer channel. I didn't realize you were just in the Murder of Crows.
Yeah, no, no, thanks for having me, dude. And I didn't mean to for my people to take over your chat for a little bit, but we're here, man. You know,
dude, it's all good. That's what this video is all about. Just random crazy shit. Who wants to pop on and hang out? So before we get back to you, though, real quick, I'm going to let Steve finish his thought, and then I'll be curious to see what you have to say about what your thoughts are.
Cool.
Go ahead, Steve.
I'll keep it short, brief, and all that.
It looks like you drew a race car. So I guess it's better than Bart Simpson.
Yeah, kind of. I always draw stick figures. This candlesticks help me to draw it out for me.
Or one of those little things that are on train tracks. You got a guy pumping it like up and down.
Yeah, this is the handle over here. These are the wheels. I would be putting bottles of wine in here, like like a little wagon if I could.
We're so much better at this than CoinBase and his crew.
What are people in the chat saying?
I don't know. I'm afraid to look. Go ahead, Steve.
So here's the thing that's really interesting for me. There's a few different dynamics going on here. So we have this little double bottom, and after double bottoms, usually you see a rise. Well, it turns out we got a rise right after the double bottom, which is a typical thing in trading generally. So I was quite positive about that aspect. We crossed over this blue curving line here, which is the 50-day moving average, which was also really important. The most important thing we need to do is get above this 200-day moving average up here, which is this red line. But the other thing is we've got this big green one here.
Okay, so when you say we have to get above that red line, why? What is the significance of that happening?
It's a statistical thing that goes down to when you're looking at how things trade. You want to be trading above a long-term average. So right now we're trading well below a 200-day average. So the average price was higher over the long term, and we're way below that. We want to have a much higher price than the average price for 200 days. So it's not good to be below it. The other thing is that when you look at the way that short-term and long-term patterns go, you want a 50-day short-term average to be trading above the 200-day. When it crosses below, it's called the death cross.
Right.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
We've been living underneath this death cross for such a long time now that it's time to see us go the other direction. I forget what it's called, but I always forget the other way around. But, we want to see the 50 cross. We want this blue line that's in here to cross above this 200. That's where we really want to be, which is the super mega positive statement. But we've also got this green line going down along here. That's the really long-term downtrend that's been going on since the beginning of this whole cycle. And crossing above that, we haven't done for the whole time. So crossing above this green line would also be a major bullish indicator, which is why I've drawn all this up. So these two blue lines in here were basically, I think it was 103, or no, I'm thinking of Ether now. It was like 3,300 and it was around 41, 42. If you hear everyone talking in the analyst world, they're always talking 3,200 and 4,200. These lines are basically showing that, like, you look at this candlestick and we're drawing up right above the candlestick. That's 4,200. That's the
support line, isn't it?
That's the resistance line now, because we have to get above it. And equally, these two bottom candles where we hit at the bottom at this 3,200 level, that's why I've drawn the line there. It's to show you that we're trading in this range between 32 and 42. We want to get above this 42 line. We want to get above this green line. We want the 50 to go above the 200. Those are all bullish indicators, and then we know we're in some sort of a new game.
So
because this is what happened the last time as well, right? When we went close to 4,000, it just went right back down, right? Because we didn't actually break the barrier.
We didn't break the 4,000. Right? We touched it there, just in this spot here.
Well, what I always struggle to find out is what dictates this 4,250 line as being the resistance, as opposed to the $4,500 candle, like the wick where it almost hit 4,500. Why not use that?
So, I mean, the way I see it is that we tested this. I'll just draw it up here if I can get a little circle to go in there. Yeah, see that how that candle was there and we didn't go above it. So I drew the line across that, and you can sort of see that there's like other points just in here where we had a lot of like battling going on, and again we just couldn't get it. We couldn't get above. We kind of tested above, and then
I see.
So I'm looking at this candle in particular, going, well, that was kind of significant because that's the 4,200 that we just didn't go beyond, and we want to see higher highs, not higher lows, or not lower highs. So the thing for me is I want to see us get above this 42, because it says, yes, we're actually getting beyond this point here. Because, if you look at this, we're still trending down, right? If I took this little dot, right, this candlestick here, and then this one here, and this one here, and this one here, we're still kind of lower highs. So the way that I see this is, if we get to the point where we cross over this 42, that's to me another indication that we're moving up. We've crossed over the 50, we've crossed over the 100. Those are both bullish indicators to start with, but it's just not enough because there's so much negativity that's out there. If we get above the 4,200, great. If we get above this long-term downtrend, I think that's a mega statement. But it's not just getting above it. We've got to close above it for the day, open above the next day, and stay above it the next day. And that's usually when you say, okay, we've got some, indication we're going somewhere. So I'm looking at this slightly differently from what you were saying before I jumped in, which is I kind of feel like we're testing the waters here on the potential of moving up, having, hit this bottom, having a double bottom here, and we bounced several times up from those. So I kind of feel like we're testing something here. And if we test the 42 and we bounce back down, then you'll have a double top. And of course, what happens? It'll be the opposite of the double bottom.
Or some whales that are manipulating the market are just waiting for people to accumulate.
That's
so that
always
they can dump
possible
into
that
them.
they're playing us. Yeah. If we hit this 4,200 up here and we just hit it and we just come down, I'd say just move it to USD Tether. Not that I'm giving advice because I don't do that, but I'm saying I'd probably move everything to USD Tether and wait, because if we test it and we come back down, there's a pretty good chance we'll come all the way back down to this 3,200 again.
All right. Let's see what I'm very curious to see what Crypto Face has to say, because he's obviously got some people that that follow him and that like his TA, and he's been in the Murder of Crows group for quite a while, man. Big supporter for a long time. And I see it looks like he even draws this shit out on the chart behind him. I'm not sure what that is. So let's find out from him what's going on. And
actually, that's actually, this chart is actually two prophecies. Actually, the first prophecy we had started was this time, actually, last year in February. We don't need to go too detailed into it because it's maybe a little PG-13 or rated R. But I would say overall, like
it
when
looks
I
like
write
somebody bending over and then pooping a lot.
That's exactly.
That's what I'm seeing in the top right.
Sitting on the pot for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
That's it.
Oh, it is.
So
that's
wrong.
exactly what it is. It's a drawing.
This is actually, let's see. So October 26th, I actually made this call a little bit earlier. It was like somewhere in here, but when I first logged it, it was here. This was all drawn before it happened. So this was after the fact. And so, we came pretty close to the T. The prophecy said we would hit like 2750. I still think we could maybe come up to like 4,500 before we take another dump. I think we have to go up a little bit before we take another dump if we're going to see a lower low.
So do you reckon about 5,000 before we'll see a bull?
Ooh, I don't know about that. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but we're looking over here. This was February last year, and we had something called a double scrotum, which is exactly what we're having right now. We're having it in a different form. And dude, we laid this all out. We came up a little bit. It was just whatever. I mean, we fucking nailed it. And so that's both prophecies. I think I'm going to sign one and give it away or sell it for like $1,000. But no, I would say my overall view, like if I had to shorten my theory on crypto trading and analysis, it would be that we are in a market that we've never as humans been a part of, with stocks and commodities and currency. Generally, those markets were started by like Western psychology. You think Europe, you think United States and whatnot. Crypto is majority heavily owned by Chinese, controlled by Chinese. When you see pumps, that happen in 30 seconds, it's not natural. There is a couple groups that do run crypto that are Chinese Rothschild type deals where they don't necessarily use crypto to make money. They use it as a tool for power. As far as TA with crypto, like there are some similarities, like double tops, double bottoms would be like an indicator that I find is you can use from TA into what I call Chinese technical analysis, CTA. Crypto's like through the looking glass. You know what I mean? It fools a lot of people, but there's patterns that repeat themselves that work. And so
but how do these patterns so consistently repeat themselves in such a manipulated market? Unless it was because of the technical analysis analyzers out there professing these things and saying, this is what I expect to happen because something similar happened 4 years ago, so I expect it to happen again today. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't understand. How can you predict anything in a market that's so wildly manipulated?
Okay, great question. So like people have said, like they say, like, oh, past, you know, history doesn't repeat itself. It doesn't mean it's not a guarantee of the future, but it's certainly telling of the future. And Bitcoin and crypto specifically, it'll pick a pattern and then it'll repeat it on every time scale from the 5 minute to the hour to the 4 hour. And the pattern could be different. There's been like 4 or 5 different patterns from the past 4 or 5 months. It's like one new pattern every 3 weeks or 2 weeks. It'll be some little weird triangle, and it's on every single time scale. And I also know that a lot of these patterns are already programmed and pre-written. Like what's going to happen if the Chinese Rothschild thing is real, which it is, the market is manipulated, like it's already foreseen, then they already have things programmed and written out of how they're going to look, you know? And so, you know, I don't get any views from China. I don't think China's on YouTube.
I don't either. I'm like 90% US. So
you're 90%?
I think I'm something like
my
that.
My majority is US as well, then UK.
I'm at 26% US, and then UK is like 10%, and then the rest is like.
I think people in the UK think I'm too dumb to pay attention to. I don't know what's going on. I don't have the accent, so I don't, you know, they're like, dumb.
No, I think they may not like certain things in the way, like some presenters may talk about, like you talk about your life as well. Some people like that, but in the UK, maybe a lot of people are not into that. They just want to listen to crypto talk
if
only.
they had their way, my videos would be 20 minutes, and I probably wouldn't even talk. No, I'm kidding. So when I think about these patterns and stuff, I kind of look at this is the easiest way to explain the way I see it. It's kind of like, okay, I'm a technical analysis guy, right? And I've established, you know, I've called some good stuff, and people pay attention to me. And my viewers are typically blind, right? They're flying blind. They're basically doing what I tell them to do, right? And so for me, it's like, let's say I am a guide for the blind, okay? And we're walking down the street. You can't see. I tell you, there's a curb there. Well, you're going to step, you know, properly to avoid that curb, right? And I could go back and then a week later say, oh, there's a curb there. Well, what are you going to do? There may not be a curb there or a hole or anything, but the same action is going to take place because of my guidance, because you trust me, because I'm blind, you can see, you're telling me what to do. And so as I see a lot of this kind of stuff with technical analysis, in the sense that a lot of these patterns are sought after by guys doing TA, and the more of these guys that agree on something, the more people are cross-referencing this guy to what this guy's saying to this guy, and they're like, oh, so Bitcoin really is going to fall to $4,500 from $6,000 in the next 7 days, because 30 different people that I've seen on YouTube or, you know, TradingView are saying that, so I better sell at 5,000 and wait to buy back in on a low. And then that becomes the self-fulfilling prophecy, the self-fulfilling pattern. How much of that do you think plays into it over just repeating patterns over time?
No, that is the case, and the only way to get out of it really is with institutional investment. It's the only way to get out of it, and just to see the uptrend. Because otherwise, it's like you said, people just playing up and down like that all the time, because it's the same people that are in crypto. I mean, 2017 when the bull run happened, they were thinking to get in. Some of them got in, and then now everyone is like, no, I'm staying away from this. So I was like, well, how come you're staying away from it now that the price is so low? Are you worried that it's going to fall back down even more? They're like, no, this is dead. Crypto's dead. You know, so all this negativity has formed because of people losing so much money, that you need institutional investment to pump it. And then they're going to get in when Bitcoin is 50K or higher and pump it even more.
The Crypto Face, you make a really interesting comment about the Chinese stuff. And I think there's something that supports this that I just thought of. So you know that when people were talking about the big rise in Bitcoin, and it was partially related to USD Tether, you heard about that part, and how USD Tether and Bitfinex are linked together. But you know that Bitfinex is actually under Digifinex, which is Chinese. So if you ever wanted to dig into like who the hell actually manipulated Bitcoin, it wasn't USD Tether and it wasn't Bitfinex, it was Digifinex, and behind that, Chinese money. So I think what you've just said supports a lot.
There's something about this Crypto Face dude that tells me I need to like have a private chat with him. He's got this eerie, like, I know some shit that you don't know kind of vibe going on. And I want to like put him in a room where he knows there's no mics and just be like, all right, dude, spill it.
You can order a consultation, man. I'll give you a discount. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
I've always wanted to be on your channel, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've met you a couple times. I observed you a couple times at that one conference, and it was fun to watch you, man. I remember you were always surrounded by people, and some media dude was like this toothless guy, and it was just funny shit. He's like, he was flopping and groping, trying to interview. So it was fun to watch, dude.
Are you talking about Vegas?
Yes.
Okay. World Crypto Con.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was an interesting trip.
Yeah, dude. It was that was like my first crypto conference I've ever been to.
What'd you think overall?
I really liked it. I had a great time. And yeah, it was really good. So I'll definitely go to the next one if there's another one in Vegas for sure. Yeah, so
anytime I'm in an environment like that, I don't remember any of it.
You know what I realized? It helped me realize that, and it's like something I've known that I always got to remind myself of is like in crypto, you know, we have a lot of smart people, we have great and terrible people, and there's some really smart people out there, but they've got some things terribly wrong. And like, that's my opinion, right? And it just reminds me, like, no matter how smart or what kind of ledge you put someone on, 99% of people last year said Bitcoin's going to go to 25, 15,000, whatever it was. And like, you realize that I think this is an important lesson for everyone in crypto. It's like, trust yourself. Like, you're going to make mistakes, but you can really learn from your mistakes and actually like apply it and make a killing, whether it's investing or trading. We have been murdering it. I'm not trying to show myself or like my little group or anything, but like crypto can really be used to change your life. Like, there's a lot of people right now that are used to working every single day, hating their lives, being oppressed for whatever. Like, we have shit pretty good, but like, I talk to people from Venezuela or South Africa, and like, this is all they got. This is like all they got. And I just think people need to keep things simpler. You don't need a million indicators to tell you shit. And yeah, like, you can discover things and like apply it for sure.
Yeah,
and it's
I think
all
everybody that got into crypto in 2017 and 2018 are, you know, look, I tell everybody I'm just an idiot on the internet. Like, I basically, you know, I am. It's like, look, in business development and marketing, some have called me a genius. Outside of crypto, I've been very successful in, you know, developing mortgage companies and things like that. So I'm not a stupid guy. But when it comes to crypto, there are so many more people out there that know so much more than me, you know? And so, and you know, a lot of people, they, you know, when it like in, you know, investing in ICOs and looking at a project and kind of getting an idea as to whether or not this has legs. And that's really what made me popular, is basically going into the business models and kind of, you know, doing kind of like the Ian Bellina thing, like where, you know, you're looking at all of the different elements to a project and then deciding whether or not it's full of shit. You know, that's pretty much where I grew popularity. What I think that everybody that got into crypto, you know, over the last 2 years, even though everybody got wrecked in one way, shape, or form, what I feel we've done is the people, like there are 260 people in chat right now. Every one of these people in chat stands to be a millionaire in the next 4 years. If everything that happens in crypto is truly some sort of 4-year cycle, we all just got the cheapest education we can to make us millionaires. You know what I mean? And because now everything that we've learned in the patterns of the market, what to expect, I don't think anybody's going to necessarily be able to nail the time frames properly, because I think, you know, like everybody, we're going to go back up. And nobody expected this bear market to last this long, for this to happen as drastically as it has. But you're right. Crypto's chain, in the sense that when the institutional money comes into the place and starts leveling things out after we've had these big, you know, pumps into, you know, wherever they're going to take us, I think at that point, things like technical analysis, like those using this time to really learn technical analysis, I think these are going to be the guys who are going to be the official prophets for the future, when the market has become a place where manipulation isn't as
prevalent
and so easily accomplished. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it is going to be the market patterns and the natural market flow, and the people that are going to be able to read that like a matrix are going to be the ones that everybody is like, you know, clamoring after. And that's why I want to learn it so damn bad, but I just do not have the time to sit and study the way I feel you really need to study to get this, you know, going.
I don't
waiting for
think
your
you
nest
do.
egg so I can start
It's
doing my
easier
analysis
than.
with it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, that was it. I was just saying, you know, Chrome, waiting for your nest egg so I can start doing the analysis there.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to have all the trading view charting and all the indicators and everything, so it'll be.
Sorry, guys,
sweet.
can we swing the conversation a little bit to something interesting, which I want to see what your guys' opinion
You
is
say I'm
on.
not interested in
Mimble.
cryptos, Chain? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Wimble. No, you're
Kidding. Well, hold on. Crypto
very
Face
interested.
had something
It's
to
just
say
about
real quick.
Wimble that I want to talk about. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. Yeah, the privacy protocol, which we've got 2 coins on Green and Beam. So they're looking at getting Bitcoin on the Wimble protocol, which means you're not going to be able to see the address of the sender, the address of the receiver, nor the amount that is being sent when you check the blockchain explorer. What's your take on that? And do you reckon that's going to change the way we look at crypto, or will the SEC actually go look into it and try to stop it, if they can stop it?
Who wants to go for that?
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. I'm multitasking.
All right, so Crypto Face is watching porn while we're live. Well, I didn't get the question 100% either.
I just got some news sent.
Okay, I'm just going to repeat it quickly then. So Wimble is the privacy protocol. We've got 2 coins on it, Green and Beam, and they're looking at getting Bitcoin on this privacy protocol, which means you're hiding the sender's address, the receiver's address, and the amount. What's your take on this? And do you reckon the SEC
Okay, you
might try
cut
to
out,
stop
but
it
I'm
in some way,
gonna. I
shape,
think
or
I know
form
where you're going with
because
this.
of the privacy aspect?
Here's the thing. One of the number one fears and concerns of regulators and governments is money laundering, period. Okay? So while I understand that, I believe that there's always going to be this subculture of cryptocurrency users that are going to try and take advantage of the most popular, most potentially profitable privacy coin they can. All right? I don't think anything is ever going to truly stop these people. Okay? However, I believe that in the general market, I believe that privacy coins are going to become the black market of cryptocurrency and I do believe it's at some point it's probably going to become illegal, because you know it's like if I go and I like when I was a fight promoter, I talked about it. You know, I'd go and I'd make like 40 grand cash in a bag, and I'd show up to the bank wanting to deposit, and there's this whole process where you have to fill out all these forms, you have to claim everything and show basically that you didn't, you know, because otherwise, well, you might be a drug dealer. People that launder money typically launder that money because they got it from illicit activity or illegal activity. So the money laundering aspect of it is the gateway to a whole other world of typically illegal activity. And so anybody that tries to hide their financial transactions using privacy coins are going to be branded either illegal, criminals, terrorists, you name it. And I think that it's just a matter of time until that happens. So while everybody out there is saying, oh, privacy coins, it's so cool, I can send money and nobody knows, that ship is going to hit an iceberg at some point in the future. And I don't care how cool the technology is. If you don't think that the governments are going to work together to stamp that shit out, you got another thing coming. And I think that now the flip side to that, and this is just my own little personal rant. I could be completely wrong and everyone could disagree. But the flip side to that is those that do dabble in those privacy coins probably going to make a shit ton of fucking money. Because of the very nature of them being illegalized at some point in the future is just going to make them that much more sought after and utilized for illicit gains.
Yeah. Okay. No, fair point. You're right. I think you're right. I think it's kind of like the torrents at the moment. You know, like not at the moment. Back in the days when people used to download movies from torrent websites and using torrent apps and stuff. Obviously, they're illegal because they're not licensed, but people still did it. It's kind of like that side market. So I think I see where you're going with this. It's going to be like that side black market where some people are going to be using it, but it's not going to be worldwide.
The mainstream general market of cryptocurrency are not going to be utilizing privacy coins.
True.
Because otherwise, what legitimate activity could you be doing in crypto that would require the use of a privacy coin to mask your transactions? There aren't any that I can see.
Well, the interesting thing, Crow, is that, if you look at the fact that there's so much of this crypto stuff that's in the public eye, if you don't want your money to, your bank account is your bank account. No one can see it. But if someone works out your Ether addresses, they know what you have. And I think there's an argument that says if people want to keep their stuff private, it's because we don't want it to be in the public. So we want to treat it like a bank account.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And when a privacy coin comes out, when a privacy coin comes out with the ability that gives institutions, banks, or police the ability to see the blockchain but not the public, that will probably be fine.
Private side chains on ontology, that's coming.
Oh, well, there you go. That could be huge for ontology. As long as the regulators and the people that police these transactions have access to what's happening and who is doing it, then that'll probably be fine.
Yeah. There's another, argument I have about this as well, which is that, companies, and this, Crow, because you've been doing business a long time like I've been, companies have to re-innovate themselves every 3 to 5 years or they die. That's just the way it is. But what's really interesting for me is the fact that the IRS hasn't innovated anything in 75 years, 100 years. They just keep adding more tax codes and creating more taxes, but they haven't had to change fundamentally the way they operate. They just tax you on salary, they tax you on sales tax or VAT or whatever. What happens if everyone was living in the world of a privacy coin and they needed a new way to generate the national income to pay for the defense, to pay for education, to pay for all that stuff? Then you'd have to re-innovate. This might be a call to action for governments to say, hey, you know what? We need to also innovate ourselves as well too, and find other ways to tax people in order to maintain
there is no shortage for new ways for the government to tax the people.
Well, that's fair too. Yeah. I'm just pointing out that the privacy coin might be an incentive for them to up their game. To be fair, if you're paying people their salaries, you're taxing them anyway. If people buy stuff in shops, you're taxing them anyway. It's only all the stuff on the outside that once they have the money, or the illegal stuff where, of course, they can't see it, or the, under the table, transactions, that's where, the stuff gets hidden the most likely.
Right.
So who's long in Bitcoin for a long term? Who thinks that we're at the bottom right now and is loading up on Bitcoin?
I don't know if we're at the bottom, but I'm still buying
3,400 is the bottom. 3,300, 3,400 is the bottom. We found really good support there, in my opinion.
I feel like now is the time to buy regardless, period. Like, even if it were to drop to $2,000, even if it were to drop to $3,000, we found good stability. Yeah, it's like if you buy in now at near 4,000 and it drops to $3,000, but then it immediately shoots back to 4 and up to 5, did you lose money or did you gain money? At this point, and if you wait for it to drop down to $3,000 or $2,000, like so many people are saying, and it doesn't happen, and it just goes from 3,940 up to 4,500 and then $6,000, and you still haven't bought in because you've been sitting around waiting, did you win money or did you lose money? Either way you slice it, I look at the, not financial advice, obviously, but any way you slice it, I feel like now's the time.
It's just our personal
opinion. All in. Let me put it this way. So, I feel like we're in the middle between this 3,200 support and a 4,200 resistance. So when I'm stuck in the middle between two particular ranges, I don't feel good about jumping in all in. I think it's good to take some position in it now, or to have taken some position at 32 or 34, but I wouldn't go all in until I see what happens at 42. And until I see what happens with this, this declining line that's been going forever. And if we get past those points, I'd say, like, you know what? I go all in then, and if it turns around and dumps again, I'll just wait. But that's kind of my position in terms of my view. But again, not my advice to anybody else. It's just my take on it.
The line you're talking about,
never invest more than you can afford to lose, Steve. Remember the number one rule in crypto.
What was that, Crypto Face?
The line you're talking about, your green line, we used that same exact line to short. It is a powerful resistance line, and so when that one breaks, for sure, that's going to be
the big downward sloping line.
We call it the Chinese red dragon line on my channel.
I should have made it in red then.
Yeah, you come close to it.
Are you
get
talking
burnt.
about oh my gosh, now I'm drawing a brain fart. Are you talking about the resistance line, or are you talking
Yes.
about the okay.
The line that goes like it starts with
4250.
like the last 3 humps before we
Right.
crash from 6,000. You draw
Correct,
that
that's the
line
one.
down, and that is the ultimate resistance line. It's the line
Yeah.
that we haven't broken since January. And yeah, that one is strong.
It's just drawing every lower high in a straight line, and they all keep hitting the same point in a straight line. So this is where we're at now, is we're very close to hitting that again, and that's the ultimate test. I totally agree with you. We got to hit that, and we got to cross over it. If we don't, then it's Hail Mary time back down again, I'm afraid to say. But
Yeah, I'm looking for if the volatility dies down again like it did at 6,000, where it stopped moving and we just go sideways. And if we just stop moving and go sideways, that's a pretty strong indication that we're just going to dump again,
Mm-hmm.
And the psychology changes. Like, we can all say right now that if it hits 2,500, we'll buy a bunch. But when it gets there, you're like, shit, it's going to go to 1,000.
Right. And that's the first thing that a lot of people are going to say, especially the Bitcoin maximalists. If it hits 2,500, well, it's going to $100, folks. It's going to be the next thing.
Guys, I got a question. What's your take on Samsung Galaxy S10 launching the cryptocurrency wallet with the feature? I think that's going to be pretty cool, and the fact that it'll end up spreading to all the people worldwide.
I
and
won't put
everyone's going to know
crypto on
about
a wallet,
cryptocurrency.
I won't put crypto on a phone, so it doesn't matter to me at all.
I just covered another wallet app, which I just tore to shreds. I won't say it on unless you guys want me to say it here, but their privacy policy was disgusting. It was really so anti-crypto. It was so about watching your movements, knowing where you are on your phone from your internet. I was like, oof.
What country is it from? It sounds like they want to know where to rob you.
You know what? It was a Dutch project that created a wallet that uses the chip inside the iOS and the Android phones, which is like a security chip. So it treats the crypto by storing it in the chip of the phone the same way as a ledger. So even if someone stole your phone, they shouldn't theoretically have access to the actual chip. And if they hack your phone and Wi-Fi, you shouldn't be able to get to it because it's kind of like cold storage on a phone. But their privacy policy was like, yeah, you sign up with your email, but we're going to know where you are all the time because we're going to have all your internet details and we can move it to third parties if we need to. And I was like, what the F is this? No way am I signing up to this thing, because I like to try stuff out and just download and test it. And when I read their privacy policy, I took screenshots of it and I stuck it up on an episode.
Looks like Crypto Face is gone. He disconnected.
No, I'm still here. I just had to turn.
Okay.
I gotta take a.
I was just gonna say, you don't actually have to put all your holdings there. Obviously, you still have the hardware wallet. I mean, just stuff that you may go shopping with.
I don't want,
for example, supermarkets.
No, I don't want people knowing that. That's not the whole point of crypto. The whole point of crypto, for me, is the fact that we're liberating ourselves to have control of our own stuff and have some control in terms of privacy, and not to the extreme of putting it in privacy coins necessarily, although some people like to do that. Yeah. But it's about me not feeling like I'm being tracked like I was by Facebook and Google.
Yeah.
And their policy was horrendous. And I got trolled a lot by people, but all the people that trolled me were the big supporters of the project. And then I had another camp of people putting comments out and giving me thumbs up and sending me private notes going, brilliant, thank you for calling it out. So it's really interesting, that even though we know that we're being tracked and followed, we're still signing up to this kind of stuff as if, it's same old business as normal. And I was just like, what the hell? This is just not cool. It's going too far. I mean, they know my IP address. They know what network I'm on when I'm traveling for work and business. They know, what my IP address, where I'm physically sitting at that moment, like my location. Yeah. Even if I have location services turned off, they're still tracking that through the app. No, thank you. I mean, that's just going.
Man, I don't know, but I think Jason was one of the most unluckiest YouTubers to get hacked twice. I mean, once with the laptop, I believe it was, and you got that router. You bought that router and you brought that guy on the channel. I remember you were speaking about the security and stuff. And the second time with your phone, I believe it was AT&T, and you ended up. It's just crazy. It's like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and luckily, so what the hacker didn't realize is that all my two-factor isn't on my phone. It's not even connected to a phone account. So they SIM ported my phone for really no reason. And even the guy that that hacked my laptop through my Gmail account, I didn't have anything there either. So it's like, I mean, and that guy had access to my laptop pretty much all through the night while I slept, and he there was nothing there for him to get other than he had access to shut down my YouTube channel. So
what about the websites that you visited? Had you access to all that?
Yeah, but there wasn't anything like. It doesn't do anything for him, like, you know what I mean. So
the browsing history and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe he probably got really bored after an hour of sifting through stuff and realizing there just wasn't anything all that exciting. I don't know. I mean, he basically got access to everything, and then I think after I don't know. Like I did get Life Alert, or was it Life Alert, LifeLock, or whatever. We got LifeLock for everybody and all that, and I mean there are some other things that we've done, but so far like. Nothing really came of that. He got my Dropple tokens. That was the only thing that I didn't have secured yet because I had just gotten them. And so, it is what it is. But yeah, and that's why I've done several different videos on security and things like that. I mean, like, don't leave crypto on an exchange. Don't, all the different security things that I've talked about in my videos. I mean, I basically learned from experience and figured out ways. Like now when I give somebody a phone number to text me, they're not actually getting my cell phone number. They're getting an app number that I use on one of my phones. And now I have multiple phones that I do.
They've taken it to the next level.
The same stuff I'm doing. In fact, my phone number and my WhatsApp phone number and my Skype phone number they're all different. Mm-hmm. I had a similar problem. I actually had a hack problem too, where they cloned our phones and then they had access to the phones and they took control of my wife's phone to try to get access to mine. It was like, I mean, we weren't even in the same, it was like crazy stuff. They were like making her phone me, but it wasn't calling me because we had fake phone numbers in there for ourselves. Right. So, we had already set this all up, but I mean, it was scary having an iOS hacked where they literally took control of the phone. So I had to go and get a security expert like you did, Crow. And we did just ridiculously crazy stuff to put in firewalls and to change our passwords to mega secure passwords and two-factor authentication.
Yeah, I to this day I don't store any passwords in a browser anymore. I don't do any of that. So
horrible stuff.
I've been on like an hour and 17 minutes. I know dinner's going to be ready soon, but I know it looks like, I don't know if Crypto Face had a technical chart he was wanting to show, or you want to do that another time. I know there was something. It seems like some of the people in chat were interested in seeing something he wanted to present here, but I don't know what that is.
I didn't have anything I have nothing to necessarily present, I
mean, you showed the guy pooping. I mean, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I guess
we see some candlesticks coming out his rear, that's all.
Right.
I'd like to think that I know we got something special going on at our channel for sure, but I just know the opportunity is there. This is going to be the easiest year to trade Bitcoin, while the volume is low. So if you're thinking about starting or learning, this is the year to do it, to build your foundation, because when things start moving heavy,
it's going to be too late.
Cut, and we've all I've taken big losses before, but the gains heavily outweigh the losses. And my advice would just be to keep it simple. You don't need 100 million indicators. Half the time they screw you up anyways. Price action patterns. If there's a pattern that repeats itself, stick to it. Start out from afar, like I always say, like an assassin, right? First thing an assassin learns how to do is snipe. Then the knife's the last thing they learn. Right. So start out with the weekly, daily, whatever. Be patient, and come over to the Crypto Face channel. I'm shilling that shit.
Go check out Crypto Face.
No one gets it like we do, baby. I'm telling you, nobody.
The parting advice I would give anybody who hasn't gotten into the market yet is realistically, because the fact of the matter is that the majority of people, and my eyes are like starting to burn. I'm gonna have to water them. The majority of people that are looking at the market and they're interested in Bitcoin, they're hearing about it, they don't have even $3,900 to buy a Bitcoin. And I tell everybody, I'm like, everybody should have at least one Bitcoin that they have stashed away for retirement. Because I think by the time, there's going to come a point where it either enables you to retire much younger than you thought, or at least by the time you're, depending on how old you are, by the time you're ready to retire, it'll be there waiting for you. And you know, a lot of people don't have $4,000 to drop on a virtual asset right now. So I tell people, look, given the market where it's at, if it were me and I had very limited income or spare income, I would skip the Starbucks and put my, $100 a week and just set up an auto buy of Bitcoin. If I'm setting up a weekly auto buy for 50 or $100 and I'm just accumulating every week, if the price goes down, great. I'm going to accumulate more and average out. If it goes up, well, I'm still winning and I'm going to continue buying on the way up. And by the time all of the ups and downs have happened between the time you start and the time the market starts to really turn around, I'm guessing it's very likely you could have a Bitcoin ready to take the wave and run with it.
Now's the time to, while it's low or close to the bottom, even if we go lower, I don't think we're going to go to zero. And so I would agree. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Crypto's Chain, Steve Good, Crypto Face. Thanks for joining me. My random guests. This has been fun. I like doing this. I want to
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah,
Definitely have to join the next one.
All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Till
Thank
next
you very
time,
much.
grow your
Have a good
coins,
one.
guys. I'm going to go
Have a good
have
one.
some
Thank
you.
din.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you.
Grow the coins.
All right, guys. See you.